Look at where we are. We are at the university climbing gym universum. I'm quite curious how this is gonna be. They also have a outdoor bouldering wall, which is also really nice. So for the people that want to climb outside, here's your chance. So for today I'm here for the bouldering. We will do lead here too very soon. So because this black hole here is in the way, I'm gonna try to purple one statically, like completely statically, because I think it's doable to do it completely statically. If that's going to be the case, it's gonna be pretty bad. Are you kidding me? This is pretty bad. Wow, there's like one instance. It's luckily not like with all of the boulders here, but I definitely think the wood setting is going to get lower because of that. But alright. So as you guys can see, this boulder has really tiny footholds you have to grab on. You have to basically like jump to like a lid. This costed a lot of finger skin for this session. So after having done this boulder with like quite a lot of like luck, because my finger skin wasn't that good and I thought the boulders would be kind of like chill in this gym, I eventually didn't have enough finger skin left to do a other 7A plus. It is definitely quite surprising that a lot of the black boulders in this gym, but also purple boulders, felt quite hard. Definitely for like 7A plus and 7As, a lot of the boulders felt really hard for the grade. This black pocket boulder is the boulder that I eventually couldn't do anymore. I couldn't do it because there were like a lot of tiny pockets where you have to like hold it with 3 or 2 fingers, and there were also like 2 monos in this boulder, and I definitely think this 7A plus felt really hard. I tried it to do my best in this gym, but because there was not that much ventilation, I eventually also got quite a lot of like pump when trying this boulder. From here you can like see the angle better, and you can also like see the holes better a little bit. But yeah, as you guys can see here, that's basically like the first mono. Having monos on the 7A plus is definitely something that I haven't seen before in a lot of gyms. They usually don't really set a lot with like monos, definitely not with like 7As or 7A pluses. It's mostly something you see in like 7Bs or something. As you guys can see right here, I tried it a lot from like the beginning, but I just couldn't stick this move. I definitely think if I added one pocket there, I could have done it, but finger skin was running low and I just couldn't do it. So yeah, I'm gonna look if the other bouldering area is open. and otherwise I'm gonna end the bouldering session and I'm gonna rate everything. I really do hope that it's open. I don't know if it's the time or not. I've already tried it just a moment ago and it didn't open up back half an hour ago. So let's see, now it's like above 5 p.m. so we're gonna see if it's open, and otherwise we are cooked. Alright, so the moment of truth. Well, it's not open. You guys can see here, it's only for USC later. I'm just very disappointed. I definitely think like a lot of people that maybe want to climb in this gym, maybe want to also, you know, want to like see and climb in the second bouldering area, and now they basically like can't because they don't have like a thingy to open the door. And also like I feel like it's just very disappointing because it just feels like that you have to have like a membership here, or you know, that you have to be like from the university to enter there. I'm just a little bit disappointed about that, but alright. So yeah, now I'm gonna rate everything, but before we're going to start, there wasn't really a training area, so as far as I've seen in the gym itself, maybe that was in the second part of in the second bouldering area, which was locked of course, but because I couldn't really get in there, I am going to just, you know, skip rating the training area and just go straight into the route setting. So yeah, for the route setting, I think I'm going to rate the route setting I think like a 6.5. I think the route setting is quite nice. You have quite technical boulders, first of all. The slabs are really nice. And like the boulders themselves also have quite a nice flow in them. Like the 7A that I did early in this session, the black one with like the sloper. You are definitely also like climbing more with like holds you would see in the competition, which is also really nice. And a part of the bouldering gym gets resetted at the end of every week or in the middle of every week, which is also really nice. So you have always like what different parts of the gym you know, have new boulders in, and they also set really hard stuff, which is also really nice. So for the more advanced climbers, you have like one really hard project you can then try to do, because there was like a 7C, which I couldn't really do this session because I had quite poor finger skin, and because I didn't really, you know, chose to you know, get the 3-time climbing entrance for like 16 euros, but just, you know, had one entry fee that I paid for like 1-time climbing only. I chose for, you know, just one climbing session and then just, you know, going to the older gym. The things that I don't really like about the route setting in this gym is that the route setting here is that you can basically like, first of all, like beta break some of the boulders, or just, you know, skip the complete beta. Of course, this was like with one boulder this session, but there were also some other boulders which wasn't really clear what to do. And then there's also some, you know, there's also like quite a lot of power boulders. There weren't really that much dynos, which I also was kind of like disappointed about. The bouldering area itself was also not that big, but the boulders themselves were really clean. So yeah, I definitely think it's not as good as Dels Blows bouldering, like not at all. But it's definitely like a nice thing to have, and I think definitely with like the with like the student championships, and you know, having a bouldering area you know, close by your university is always really nice. So yeah, it's going to be a 6.5 for me. So yeah, now I'm gonna rate cleanliness. Well, I didn't really saw any black spots on the boulders. I definitely had like a little bit of like a slippery thing with like the slope on like the 7A. I think, you know, there was like a little bit too much choke on that one, so I had to like push it a little bit. Um, as far as I had seen, there weren't really like that many brushes in the gym. So yeah, it's probably going to be because like the rest of the boulders were quite, you know, clean. It's going to be like I think a 7 for me with cleanness. I think it's really really clean, and I definitely think, you know, when coming into the gym, you know, you have like it smells quite fresh and like, you know, it smells quite clean. So yeah, for friendliness, I think I'm gonna give this gym a 10 for friendliness. The people were really nice. I talked with a lot of them, like I think even more than in Eindhoven. And you know, you feel like there's like a little bit of like a community in the gym itself. There is always somebody at the bouldering gym, so you're never really alone. At least in this climbing session, I didn't really had that. Maybe on other days it's different, but I didn't really had that on this particular moment. The staff also is really really nice. You know, they really try to help you out. There was like something with like the site which wasn't really that clear, but they helped me to understand it a little bit better. And yeah, like eventually I found out that you could like pay for a time slot, but you could also just like, you know, pay for 1 time or 3 time entrance. And you know, on like the site they said that you had to you know, take a time slot to, you know, pay for a time slot to climb in. But that was basically only for lead climbing. So yeah, it was like a little bit weird with that, but the staff definitely like, you know, try to help you out and try to explain it really well to you, how that worked. And you know, the people themselves were really nice in the gym itself. Even though I wasn't from the university, I felt like I was really welcome there, and that I, you know, that the people climbing there were just really social, and also, you know, um, wanted to know, you know, why I climbed here. Even though I'm not from the university, I still, you know, had like really good, like quite long conversations with them about, you know, climbing and, you know, um, training and that stuff. And you know, there's also like people cheering you on the boulder if you really struggle on a boulder, um, which is also really, really nice. You don't really see that a lot in gyms either. So yeah, I think I'm gonna rate the friendliness in this gym because I don't really have anything to say about it that's bad. I think I'm going to rate it a 10. So yeah, now for air quality slash conditioning, I didn't really felt like there was a lot of like air, you know, in the bouldering area. It was like quite hot and just really humid. It just was like, you know, you could like feel almost no to literally like no ventilation or conditioning at all. There also weren't really any fans in the gym to, you know, let you cool off. And also, you know, when you went to like the changing room, there was also no ventilation. um so yeah, because of that, and because you really start sweating and you have to really drink, because otherwise you are going to get dehydrated, I have to give it, because there is only like really warm air and there is not really like a lot of air flowing in the gym, like almost none. I have to rate it a 2. So yeah, for safety slash safeness, I think I'm going to rate it a 6.3, I think. But there aren't really any templates in the gym for like safety rules in the gym itself. I didn't saw any, at least. And even though the people climbing in the gym were really really safe, um, the safety rules themselves were mostly just like online on the page with like a little link, which is, you know, I think they can definitely like make it a more bigger thing. Because they have safety rules, I'm going to give them a 6.3. But yeah, like they don't really, you know, have templates or show the rules in like on like the TV, which I think is just like a little bit disappointing, but alright. So yeah, there's no real bad reviews about the bouldering area, so we are gonna skip the reviews, but there's something else, and I'm going to remove 2 points for this, because I had to like walk 4 stairs to get to like and like walk through like a whole big section of the of like the complex to get to like the second boarding area, so I could like see it was like closed and it was only for like people that have a subscription or are from the university. I was not from this university. I only knew from the people climbing in the board in the gym, or like in the bouldering area, that there was a second bouldering area. I wasn't really informed at all about that you had to be having a subscription in the gym itself to get access to like the second bouldering area. And also the staff itself, also the site didn't said anything about it. So I went blindly in, thinking that I could like get into the second bouldering area, and well, I got quite disappointed when I got there, because like first of all, before it was 5, I tried it once and I thought, well, maybe it's just like the time, and that's it. Then I tried it the second time and it wasn't open either. So there was like a little like note that it was only for like people that you know um have the subscription, um, which I'm just really disappointed about that. And I definitely think that that's something that they can definitely like put on the site, that only when you have a subscription you can get access to the second bouldering area, or that they just remove that card and just open the bouldering area for everyone, or just at least like that they let that the boulder area has like limited access, and not that you're just like walking 4 stairs and like through the whole complex only to get to a door which doesn't open because you have to have like a subscription. So yeah, I'm going to remove 2 points for that. So before I am saying the total score, I was thinking about maybe just making the route setting a 6. I felt like there was like a lot of crimping, and there were also like a lot of power boulders and really not that much dinos. There were like 3 sick boulders in the gym, but it really wasn't like super special for me, because I had gone to like a lot of the climbing gyms and I don't really think that this gym has like a really lot of like cool setting. And also like the holds, even though they were really cool and have like, and even though they use like competition holds from like the university competition, like and they said with that, I don't really think that the route setting is like on a level that it gets like higher than a 6. So yeah, I'm going to just let it stay on like a 6. So yeah, because I lowered the score to a 6 from with route setting, the total score is a 5.86, which I'm going to just make a 5.9 from that score. I think the bouldering gym is pretty decent, but I don't think it's like super special. It's like not something that like it's like not like based Amsterdam or base Rotterdam. It definitely has like some really quite hard moves, and some really hard boulders that you can really like project on. But I don't really think it's going to be like getting higher than a 6.5. Um, but yeah, I think 5.9 is still pretty decent for a climbing gym. And yeah, I think I am completely agreeing with this score too. So yeah, this was it for today's rating video. Um, I won't be uploading a rating video for a while. I'm going to take a few days off to, you know, get to a more further gym. I'm going to try to go to Gropo. So I will probably won't be uploading a rating video for I think a week, or any video for like a week, and then I'm going to be uploading regularly again. So yeah, this was all for today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.